Hi everyone, this is Sam, the Business Elf. Today we are going to look at some Facebook tips to spring clean your Facebook page. Tip number 1, add a profile picture and cover photo. So this is the Business Elf Facebook page. This area here is your cover photo and this area here is your profile picture. So the first thing to say is your Facebook page is an extension of your business, so you've got to make sure it looks professional. So think about the quality of the images that you are using. You could use this cover photo in a couple of different ways. So if you are going to be changing it less frequently, which is certainly my intention, have something there that just represents your business. That's a good billboard for your business. That's the reason why I've just got that. It's the Business Elf on there, so it's obviously very clearly branded. And also for the type of business that I am, I want people to know that I'm available on other social media channels. So think about the kinds of images that you want to use on there. The other way that it could be used is more frequently, and it could be used more as like an advertising billboard space that you are updating. So if you have a competition running, you might want to include that in there. If you've got any giveaways, special offers, new products being released. So you could use it on quite a regular basis, updating and changing that. But again, make sure the images that you are using are good quality images, so it reflects a professional business. With your profile picture, this is something that I'm definitely going to change on mine because it is a selfie, is make sure that it is a professional looking image. I would recommend you getting someone to take a good quality picture. Don't use a selfie from down the pub, for example. I know that's an obvious thing to say, but I have seen that. The other question that I get asked is, should you use your logo as your profile image? It's personal preference. Personally, I like to see a nice smiley face, so think about from your point of view as a customer, what do you like to see? A nice smiley face to me means that I feel I can trust that business more. I can put a face to the name because sometimes social media feels quite impersonal from that point of view. But the choice is yours, so either a professional logo or a professional looking profile picture. Tip number 2 is add a cover photo description. So if I hover over the cover photo, you can see there that the description comes up there. So if you want to be communicating extra pieces of information, it's a good idea to include it in your cover photo description, and I'll show you where to find that. So if you click on that photo, this is the description here. So actually you can see yesterday was when I edited this. For me, the essential information that I wanted to communicate was about the other social media channels that I use, and I wanted customers to be aware of how to find me on YouTube, for example. So think about what information you would like to communicate. If you have got a competition being advertised in your cover page, for example, you might want to put further information about your competition in the description. If it is more of a billboard, you might want to put contact information in there. It's up to you, but think about what additional information do you want to communicate to customers. Tip 3 is add a page category. So this is your page category here. It could be that that information is missing. You might not have included that when you started your page, or you might actually look at it now and think, 12 months on, that information is no longer relevant. I'm going to show you why it's important that information is now relevant to your business and is up to date. So if we just click on it, this is something we're going to look at more at a later date, but this is the local search that's now available. So I'm classed as a business consultant from Sunderland. If you search business consultant in Sunderland, I now come up alongside a long list of other businesses from Sunderland or in this local area that offer the same service. So it just makes it, again, much easier for customers to find you. The way in which you can change that information is if we just click on the About page, because that's where we're going to be doing some work now. And if you click on Page Info, you have got category, so you can edit this information so that is relevant to your business. So just select your categories and select Save Changes. I'm just going to click Cancel because I'm for the moment, I'm happy with how those categories look. Once you've selected that category information, you then need to go and edit your subcategory information. So again, just click edit over here, select the correct information, and then click save changes. That's the information that you can see appears at the bottom of your profile. That is what people are going to find you on local searches. So that's under page info in the about section. Tip 4 is add a call to action button. So just jumping back onto your timeline, this is where your call to action button appears. Now I've been doing a lot of work on this the last couple of days, so I've now added mine as a sign up, but if we just click on this, you'll see that you get a few different options, but just so I can show you what it would look like, I'm just going to go edit call to action, and you get to choose what you want as your button. So again, think about what your business does, what you want customers to do, and choose the most relevant button. So if you want customers to phone and make a booking, it could be call now. If you want them to send you a message, select send message button. Follow the instructions on screen, and then just simply, when you are happy with everything, select save changes. I'm just going to click cancel because mine's already set up now. And once you set it up, you'll see that it appears there, and you can actually test the button to make sure that it works as well. Tip 5 is to update contact information. So we are back in the about section under page info. Again, just make sure that your contact information is up to date. You've got your address on there. You will probably have a phone number, an email address. You need customers to be able to find you. The easiest way to do that is to provide them with contact information that they will need. So if you've got shop premises, that might be the address you include. It's up to you. Obviously, what phone number you put in there, whether it's a mobile or the premises phone number. But you need to make sure that the information is relevant, that it is up to date, so that customers can find you. It is a requirement by law that you provide customers with up-to-date contact information, but also for that local search. As you saw before, it looked for business consultants in the City of Sunderland. If I didn't have that contact information available on my profile, that local search facility wouldn't have worked. Tip number 6 is to review and complete the about section information. So we are still in the about, and we're still in page info, and you've got, this is your profile. Make sure that this is as complete and as up to date as possible. Mine currently isn't. That is something that I will be working on this week and trying to get all of these changes made. My short description isn't particularly suitable for my business now. Since setting up the business Elf, I've made a lot of changes to what I want to do and how I want to do things, and you might find the same things happen to you over the last 12 months. Does that information that you've put in there still fit with what your business does? You need to make sure that you are providing customers with as much information as possible to help that decision making process. You've got a lot of competition out there. The number of businesses that I see that don't have that information, don't have contact details, and don't have a description of the business, there's very little point in having a Facebook page, because that's what customers want to know. If you're struggling with this and you're not sure what to put, get friends and family to review your Facebook page. You know your business inside out, but sometimes you're trying to anticipate what will customers want to know. And you might find that you're missing pieces of information. They will tell you, get somebody else to have a look at it and to give you that customer viewpoint, and plan what you were going to write. Make sure you proofread it again to make sure it looks professional. Make sure that you've got your short description in there, which should be to the point and give potential customers a brief overview of the business. You've also got space for a longer description where you can give more detailed information. And just make sure that the rest of this profile's got as much information in there as possible, and just go through and check everything is as up to date as possible as well. Tip number 7 is add your business as your current employer. So this is my profile. Some of you will have seen that if you are my friends, but obviously lots of you haven't. And again, if you've been working with me for a while, which some of you have, you'll know that I do an insane amount of jobs and work and projects. I've got the business elf added there. I'll just show you how to add that. So if you go into the about section, if you go on to work and education, it lets you add your workplace, and you can just search for your Facebook page, follow the on-screen instructions, and when you are happy with all of that information, you just need to save changes. It's up to you whether it's public so anybody can view that, or whether you want that private, but obviously the aim here is to attract customers, to make your friends list aware of that particular business, because you want to drive customers. That is ultimately what we are doing that for. Tip number 8 is to invite friends to like your Facebook page. So again, it could be something, because I think you probably do this when you start a page, that you've already invited some friends, but over the last 12 months your network will probably have grown. You might have added more friends from people that you've met that aren't aware that you've got a Facebook page. One thing to bear in mind is you probably don't want to invite all friends. Just think about who is going to use your business, who is that business targeted at. You know your friends, and you might choose to invite all friends, but certainly with this page I was a little bit more careful when inviting friends. The goal with Facebook is not to get as many likes as possible anymore. It is to get good quality likes. You want people to be engaging with those posts. You want them to like those posts. You want them to comment. You want them to share. If you know that they're not going to do that, don't invite them. So because my business elf page is targeted at small business owners, that's who I've targeted when I've invited my friends. All those friends that either work in education or have their own businesses with the people that I invited. If you click on those 3 little dots there and just go invite friends, you'll get your whole friends list up, and then you can just click on invite, like that one there. Just click on invite, and it'll tell you who's liked and who's been invited. And again, that's something that I've quickly gone through today, because as I've added more friends that haven't necessarily been invited at that particular moment. So that's just a quick way to kind of boost your page and get a few more likes. Tip 9 would be to review and participate in Facebook groups. Just have a little reflection over which Facebook groups have worked really well for you. Which ones have you used? Lots of businesses join Facebook groups. I've seen businesses that joined over 100 groups, and possibly you're not even participating in a 10th of those. So have a look actually what groups have worked really well for you and make that the focus of your strategy. It could be that you give other groups a try again, see if it works. If it doesn't, just focus on the ones that are working for you. We have got very limited time when we are doing anything for our business because we've got so much to do. So we use things that work for you, work out which groups are the most relevant and most suitable. Tip 10 is to review page insights. Now I'm just going to quickly show you where to find that, but this is something I'm going to do a separate video on. You've got lots of good quality analytical information for free on your Facebook page, so I'm just going to show you that now. So if you just click on Insights at the top, you are going to see a whole host of information on here that is going to tell you things like page likes, post reach, engagement. It'll even start telling you which posts had the most clicks on, and what people have been the most interested in. It's a good opportunity now to start reviewing that information and look back over the last 12 months, or even the last 6 months, or even the last 3 months. What has worked the best for you? Should you be spending more time on creating little videos? Should you be spending more time on photos of your product? It's good to get a nice balance and a nice mix, but look at who's engaging, when they're engaging. And like I say, this is kind of a whole video by itself. There is a huge amount of information, but if you haven't looked at this before, I recommend you just spending, even if you just spend 10 minutes just looking over this information, just to see what's available to you and what will help you plan it. Well, that's it for our spring cleaning, so thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to comment in the section below, and I look forward to reading them. Thank you very much.